I'd been hashing together something profound from notes taken on a trip earlier this year. Something about the land shaping the self or some bollocks. Far too reverent, didn't sound like me at all. I was about to scrap the lot when I got a memo about a piece on adventure motorcycle riding. Too bad I don't know any adventure motorcyclists, I said. The joke landed better in my head. It did cause me to question, though, what even counts as adventure these days. Is it risk or consequence? Or just another label you can buy in a dealership? Mum brought me up well, though I had feral tendencies, and from a young age I disappeared on trips whenever I could. This was a trip. This one we called Bunfalls. Back then it was BMX, cheap booze, and sleeping on strangers' floors. Or sometimes skate parks. It was adventurous to many, I'm sure, particularly for that age, but to us it was always just another trip. The point is, we grew up doing this sort of thing. The spirit's the same, just these days it's dirt bikes, B&Bs, and borrowed time. Last year was a flash-in-the-pan traverse of the Pyrenees, east to west. This year was a continuation, I guess, picking up loosely where we left off, just a little further west. The plan was simple: ride bikes, drink beers, and shoot the proverbial breeze, the blueprint for either enlightenment or disaster. Nice new boots, shiny. We hauled enough crap to invade a small country down in my van, and as always our long-suffering Sherpa Pat handled logistics from there. Poor bastard. Lucky us. We went out to find some food. For those of us shoehorning a trip like this between the creeping commitments of adulthood, a guaranteed cold beer at the end of a shift is non-negotiable. If adventure means courting failure, we sure as shit weren't going to fall at that hurdle. So pre-booking was essential. Besides, it was Semana Santa, Spain's holiest week of the calendar, everything fully booked months in advance. But when your collective schedule doesn't have wiggle room, you take the window you have. After all, what even counts as adventure these days? Maybe it's doing it wrong on purpose. Rigid plans rarely survive impact when hitting reality, so we built ours accordingly. Fast and loose. 5 days in the mountains, that should suffice. 5 places booked and a route open to fudging if things go south. Unlike last year's end-to-end sprint, this was more a meander through Cantabria and Azores. The general direction dictated not by known routes, but by whatever pensions, casa rurals and albergues still had space for 5 dirtbags who booked too late. And with that, we were off to the races. first day on the trail always exposes you. Hands once road-worn, now soft as pastry. But damn, it does feel good to be out together. As much as we love to ride, we really don't get to do it all that often, so we cherish these moments. I think the whole damn village heard us roll in. The host sure did anyway. I think that's what she's saying. The forecast had looked iffy, but day one went off without a hitch. A successful shakedown of man and machine. Still, we braced ourselves. That night we learnt the weather was going to get much worse. Of course it was. I guess you don't always start first kick shag. There you go. I think the whole damn village heard us roll out. I sure did anyway. Bonus points for standing up while crossing a bridge, Billy. Bit of a trendsetter by the looks of it. Some of these broken roads and mountain passes are trickier than they first look. Scott here taking the thinking man's line. Nice. Route planning's always been a guilty pleasure. I can spend far too long poring over maps and satellite imagery than I'd care to admit in public. Since the route is shaped by where we stay, that made me de facto chief accommodation officer. Fine by me. Outside the national park, this region is a time machine. Villages preserved by remoteness and dwindling populations. You're keeping you awake now, mate. We stay in places that deepen immersion. Old stones, old customs, old ways. Venture of a different flavour, you might say. The vegan option was a lot less inspiring. Some say a bike is just a tool. To them I say you've either never been on a bike trip or you have a painfully boring taste in motorcycles. Or great taste in tools. If you've not whispered sweet nothings as you make your waypoint, or negotiated with a cold engine like it's a hungover friend, you've not known devotion. Terrain like this can be punishing. A spiritual connection to our machines is what separates us from the beasts, and it can offer comfort when the relationship is inevitably strained. But when it's good, it's good. Breakdowns do happen. It's par for course, really. We plan for them. Tools, spares, the usual bits and bobs. I'm just glad I don't need to carry something the boys call a dog turd in my tool bag. Nunc est bibendum, to the big Michelin man in the sky for gifting at least some of us the bib moose. I think that's done the job. Like their mortal pilots, the machines require sustenance, oil, fuel, prayers, occasionally siphoned from a mate's tank. Remember mints next time. To keep up with the bike's needs, we baked in a halfway stop at Vegalian, a motor hotel offering facilities fit for trail-worn wanderers. Repairs, tune-ups, servicing. We set to it, And while the gear dried off by the fire, we took care of our needs. Those big beers were very welcome, though I seem to remember whoever picked up the tab in the morning had a bit of a shock. Rounding out the holy trinity of potential trip enders, right after man and machine, is Mother Nature. Indifferent, uninterested, quick to turn on you. Spring in the mountains is always a roll of the dice, we knew that. But winter without saddle time leaves you starved, and hunger makes a fool of everyone. We were here for it, and amidst the chaos, at times you question what you're even doing out there. What is Billy doing? Oh, I bet he's making sure his ciggies and phone are kept dry. Pro move. Is this an adventure? Maybe. Not for the danger or novelty, or even the Instagrammable vistas, though they do look good. But because the reasons to keep going, as irrational and stubborn as they seem, outweigh the risks of standing still, of getting overly comfortable. Out here we follow the compulsion to keep riding over listening to the sensible voice suggesting you'd be better off at the coffee shop with warm socks and dry boots. But what even counts as adventure anymore? Someone who's only ever been on trips all his life, or holiday, call it whatever you want. It meant risk, consequence, discovery, belonging to extraordinary people of legend. All that can seem hard to find at times when you're only ever an app away from pizza delivery wherever you seem to be in the world. Today it risks becoming some grotesque law dangled by algorithms fighting for attention, or something you can buy on finance, accessorized with matching luggage. Not sponsored, obviously. I guess that's why I've rejected the label, but even worn out words deserve respect. They only lose meaning when you let them. I mean, you don't need to build the Taj bloody Mahal to say I love you. Just like you don't need to... Yeah, that was slippy. Don't need to summit the world's highest peaks in order to feel alive. You just have to keep going, even if the reasons aren't clear. And if that counts as adventure, then cool. If it doesn't, then whatever. We were never keeping score anyway.